What's up, guys? Welcome back. Tonight's guest is Adam Nutter. He's a friend of mine. He has a podcast, maybe a couple podcasts now. He's done stand-up comedy. He's a retired cop, and he owns a gym. So that alone tells you that he's had multiple lives at this point. He was just recently on Jubilee, where he got to sit across from, I think it was like a mob boss, which was fucking crazy. So I'm kind of like interested in talking to him about his crazy hectic life, and also how he got to where he is now. Because I think, maybe getting a couple stories out of him on the policing stuff will be pretty cool. So, Adam,
Yo,
welcome to the show. What's up, dog?
what's
How you
up,
doing?
brother? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man. Well, I guess that was like a little short thing, but you got a lot more to say about all that. Like, how did you get to where you are today? Like, how'd you do all those things and figure out? Like TLDR, I guess,
Crazy luck. I don't know. I always had my hat in a bunch of things that I was interested in, and I just fucking did them. And don't pigeonhole yourself into one thing. Just branch out, do what you like. If it's successful, it's cool. If not, move on to something else.
What was it like sitting across from like a mob boss, dude?
Michael Franchese. That whole experience was interesting. I'll tell you that much. I got noticed at the gym a few times. Like people were like, "Were you on fucking Jubilee?" I'm like, "Yeah, I totally was." It's interesting. I mean, it was like it's very edited down, like the whole show, which I'm assuming they do for like all the episodes. The running to the chair is fake. That's fake, by the way. Like,
That's kind of cringe.
yeah. So they beforehand, it's like you raise your hand if you want to talk on that topic, like on that whatever the fuck the guy brings up, right? And if they pick you, we practice fake running to the chair. And I was like, this is gay.
That is super ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
What the hell?
So I actually went twice. They cut one completely. And the one
My God.
because I went on one where like a lot of people went on and I already went. So they probably were like, well, he already went, so we're just gonna cut it. The one I did, I'm second on the whole show, by the way. Like I'm the second person on the show. I talked to him for like 6.5 minutes, but they cut it down to like 3 to 4, which is also kind of dumb because I thought it was like a good conversation. The one I debated on was do undercover informants like manufacture crimes? And it was kind of like an entrapment topic. And this is what they cut. I agreed with him in the sense of like, yes, technically they are manufacturing a crime, but it's not entrapment. Because I was like laying out the rules of what entrapment is, which they also cut. So they
Right.
have that in there. So it's pretty much
Because like
me
you're
arguing-
still going there with the intention to commit crime, knowingly that you're gonna commit a crime.
right.
Right?
Yeah. I was like, entrapment is like if you're under duress or like threaten you or whatever, like that's entrapment. Like if they don't do that and you're I said in that episode, like you're a grown man, you have free will, like you could choose not to be able to do that, But I was like, I do agree with you that yes, they are making up a crime that doesn't exist technically, but like you don't have to do that crime. And they cut it all and whatever. But it was fun. It was interesting. It was like 2.5 hour shoot total. I had to go out to LA for it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I like the mob is at least like honest about what it is. The government pretends it kind of isn't a mob, right? But it
Yeah,
kind of is
yeah.
too. I don't know. I'm fascinated by power structures. But when you're sitting across from him, did he feel like more? Did he feel different than like a politician or like a bureaucrat? Or did he was it kind of the same vibe?
No, he was very open and honest. He was like, yeah, I committed a crime. I mean, his crimes were gay mafia stuff. It was like tax fraud. It wasn't like he was burying bodies or anything. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, he's like, yeah, he's like, I was a criminal. He's like, I knew what I was doing. He's like, I wasn't like, whoa, I'm getting arrested. Like, so he was a cool dude. Like I talked to him for a little bit afterwards. But no, he was definitely like open and honest, like very much so about like his thoughts and stuff, which I appreciated. Like he wasn't just trying to bullshit anybody for sure. He was a cool dude. More so than probably half the other people on that fucking show. Like, especially all the like the leftists they bring on there. And they're just lying through their fucking teeth. And you're like, dude, come on. He was just like, yeah, no, I committed a crime. Like, let's talk about it. It was
There's
pretty
some
cool.
really cringe ones on there with, like, the
Yeah.
leftists that go on.
Yeah.
This was that your I think your, the show that you were on where it was pretty unique. Was there anything that you, like, low key agreed with him on? Like,
A
"Yeah,
lot
you
of
know what?"
stuff.
Yeah, I have no doubt.
Yeah.
Like, what would you say that you agreed with him on more than, you disagreed? I mean, you're coming from, like, retired NYPD,
Yeah.
uh, and he's on the other side of that, you know what I mean? So
So, like, he was open. He's like, "I never had a problem with law enforcement." He's like, "You guys are doing your job." And he's like, "I was trying to skirt that." He's like, "That's just the game you play." And I was like, "Yeah, that's fair." Like, totally. There was one guy on the show that was in the panel. He was bald guy. He was the only FBI retired FBI guy on the show. Everybody else was, like, local cops. And, this guy got clowned on by him and us. He he was pretty much like, in the episode, you can see, like, real laugh at the guy's face because he goes, "Oh, so you're telling me the FBI isn't corrupt? Like Comey wasn't corrupt? Like none of these guys were ever corrupt?" And the guy was like, "No, I never dealt with that." And everyone was like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here, dude!" Like, we were all like clowning him and shit. So that guy got
oh,
trapped.
that's
But I
great.
agree with him on that. I'm like, yeah, the FBI is fucking corrupt. Like, what law enforcement agency isn't corrupt to a degree? Especially like any big one, especially. It's like you're gonna have it. NYPD was to a degree for sure.
To a
That was
degree, yeah.
one. Um, Even part of the entrapment thing, I said I agree with him on. Uh, the one I didn't really agree with him on, but it's like he brought up an argument that didn't really apply to like local cops, where he was like federal prosecutors and stuff, like they look more for arrests for like promotions than they do for like the actual arrest. And I was like, I don't know how to tell you this, buddy, but like I wasn't getting promoted off an arrest as a cop. It doesn't happen. Like, look, any police department like this doesn't work that way, right? You have to take a test and all that shit. It doesn't matter. I can have the coolest rest in the world to be like, cool, man. So see you tomorrow at midnight, right? Like for your regular tour. Like,
That
yeah,
sounds like some TV stuff right there. Like, "Oh, yeah, you got the bad guy, now we're gonna give you a promotion." I think that might have happened in Dexter. You know what I mean?
and I'm sure that does happen in like a federal prosecutor level or like a prosecutor level, but not local cops, dude. And that's like he wasn't. Like, I think it was a bad argument for him to bring up, knowing he was going up against like 20 cops, like local cops, pretty much. So I was like, that's dumb. I can't remember the other thing now. It was I filmed in like December. My brain trauma is not letting me remember it. So
No good. Um, well, what made you, like, leave policing? Like, what made you put that
I
behind
got
you?
hurt.
And you got hurt?
Yeah.
I didn't
Oh,
know that.
I have a I played football my whole life and I did MMA for a while and I got a shit ton of concussions from that. And then when I was on the job, I got involved in 3 car accidents while working. And the last one fucked me up real bad and that put me out. They were like, "You're medically retired. You're out." I was
My
like,
god.
"Fair." I don't think I can do this anymore.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know, like, I feel like, you know, there's a lot of obviously, like, you know better than anything, right? There's a lot of, like, misconceptions about cops, obviously, but, like, we're all I don't know, we come from this, like, side of the internet that's very, anti-authority, I guess, in a lot of ways, and, does not like the cops at all, even when
Yeah.
they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Um, you know, but, would you say that, like, your time being a cop disillusioned you, or did it kinda, like, wake you up to a different side of that?
Yeah, like, I mean, I got on when I was 21. It's pretty much because, like, I was like, "Well, I need a fucking like, comedy isn't paying the bills at 21, you know?" You're like,
Right,
you're
right.
brand new into comedy. And I have family members who are cops. I should have been a fireman, that's the gig. But, like, I was like, "I'll just take the fucking test," and I took it at 20 years old, I think. So I took it a year before I was even able to be a cop. Passed, and I was like, "Well, I need money. I'm living at home still, but I still need fucking money." And benefits sound pretty fucking sick. That'd be great to have health insurance. So I took it pretty much because of that, like just money and health and like a steady like career. Like let's really fuck up, you're not getting fired.
Yeah.
And you go into it like, oh, you do want to help people, and then as soon as you're in, they're like, "That's not what we do here. We don't do that at all." I was like, "Oh, all right, cool. So it's not about that." Like, no, it's not about that at all. I'm like, "All right, dope." Um, like, luckily, I'm from Staten Island. I worked on Staten Island my whole career. I never like had to work in like Manhattan or Brooklyn or anything like that. So I can only speak on Staten Island. But I work midnights, and luckily I found a group of guys. We all had the same kind of mindset where it was like, we really only care about like theft and violent crime and stuff. I don't really give a fuck about like like weed. Like, who gives a fuck? You know, like if you're drinking outside, like whatever, who cares? Like, unless you're being an asshole, then it's like an easy way to like bang you over the head. But like, I don't care about any of that shit. Like, I only really care about like theft and violent crime, which we all pretty much do, and we kind of police that way. Um, but then you have the brass, the upper command, who's like, well, you also have to write tickets. There's no quota, but
Wink. Yeah.
wink, but you better fucking write stuff. And you're like, all right, got it. So then you're like, you're it's annoying because it's like, this is the community like we live in, and like, you want me to bust this guy's balls for like a headlight? So we found ways around that too, where like there's a law where like if you have a headlight out and you get a ticket for it, if you just bring even a copy of the receipt of a new headlight to like a precinct, like the ticket goes away. So we just tell people that, be like, hey, listen, just like bring a copy of the receipt within a week, any precinct in the city, and this ticket gets thrown out, and you have to. The headlight bulb is $4 at AutoZone. Like, it's like, pay the $4 and then just don't replace it. I don't give a fuck what you do. Like, who cares? But you won't have to pay the ticket. So that was annoying. But yeah, you had a like, you can't get fired for not writing tickets, right? But what they do is they fuck with your life, which is arguably just as bad. So like, people don't realize where Staten Island is in New York City. It's like, we're an island, and it's a pain in the fucking balls to get off that island. Like, to go anywhere else, it's a nightmare. And I work midnight, so I made the most money because you get like night differential. So first it would start with like, hey, you're off nights now, and now you work days, or 4 to 12s. And if you have like family, like kids and shit, which I don't, but like if you do, like, that fucks your whole schedule up, because like, who takes care of the kids? And then if you keep not doing what they want, they go, hey, so you're gonna get transferred to the Bronx. Yeah, we know you live in Staten Island, but good luck getting to the Bronx at 7 a.m. on a day tour, so you have to leave your house at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's like, they're just fucking with your life. So it's like, what I'm gonna do, because I'm not going down that road. I'm not fucking doing that. So like, they work ways around to, they'll fuck with you if you don't do what they ask.
Were there a lot of like good old boys that were just there to I mean, like, yeah, there's definitely, I was in the Army, so there's definitely a lot of people that are just like, they're gonna do everything they're told by the book, right? Or
Yeah,
I mean, as far as they know,
sure,
by the book, but they're happy to write everybody tickets that they find, right? Because I don't know what the hell they think.
We had traffic units where their whole job was to work day tours and just write tickets, and they had to write like, I think like 200 a month or something like that. Like, every month,
So those guys are like the policing for profit shit, dude's insane.
It's crazy. But that's how they make their money. The city does, right? And that's what they want you to do. They don't really care about the crime. They only care about the crime when it becomes like a big issue. Yeah. Like a newsworthy story. Then they care about the crime. But outside of that, they don't give a fuck. They're just like, profit, please. Money in our pocket. Thank you. And then go on about your day. That's it. But yeah, we had guys who were fucking called them cameras.
Do you ever come across any like more high level criminals, or was it all kind of like petty shit like that?
Me and my partner, so after Hurricane Sandy, which was really bad for like Staten Island, like, we got fucked. Like, especially like, I worked in the 122 precinct, and a lot of part of my precinct was on the beach, and those homes got fucking, I mean, destroyed. It looked like the Hulk ran through like the house. Like, there's like holes in the middle of the home. It was crazy. It was fucking nuts. And there was a massive copper pipe theft happening, and it became a big deal. And they were like, whatever we gotta do, fucking find this motherfucker who's doing it. So no one could catch him. We're doing like targeted patrols in the area where it's like happening a lot. And me and my partner just there one day, just driving around. And some lady sees like this fucking guy by the side of a house who doesn't live there. And she calls, and we're like, oh, that's like 3 blocks away. Dude, I swear to God, I'm just driving casually. This motherfucker must have saw us, but I didn't see him. And he turns like out of a house and literally runs into the side of my car. Like a cartoon. I would get out. We're like, yeah, you're going to jail. So we arrest him, bring him back to the precinct. All the detectives come down. They're like, like, who you working for, all this shit. As I'm sitting downstairs in the lobby of my own precinct, because he's up with the detectives now, some fucking retard walks in, and he's like, yeah, I'm here for like so-and-so, the guy we just arrested. And he was with him doing the theft. And we're like, no way, this guy just walked in on his own. That's crazy. So we go, oh yeah, man, just have a seat. We'll go get him for you. And we go upstairs. I go to the detective. I'm like, you're not going to believe who's downstairs right now. They go down, they arrest him. Turns out they were working for like some junkyard who was like paying them to go get all the copper piping. So it was like the whole thing got broken up. And you know what I got for that? Nothing. So Michael Franchese is wrong about high profile arrests.
It's so funny, but that shit actually works, man. I've seen a couple of the police departments around post like, hey, you dropped this backpack with all this money in it. If you want it, come pick it up at the station.
Yeah.
People, I'm sure, fall for it, dude. Like
100%. People are retarded.
So stupid.
So they'll do anything.
Oh my god. Yeah, pretty young. You're pretty young when you went in. I think I joined the army when I was like 20, and like my reasons for that were basically like I needed to get out of my parents' house. Like I never really did for money because you make nothing in the army.
Yeah.
As a single 20-year-old dude with like, I don't know, but it was I did it for money. Then they spewed the free college nonsense too, and I was like, like maybe I can finish my degree afterwards or whatever. By the way, I didn't even touch my GI Bill. I get zero benefits, even though it was medical discharge and blew up both my knees. But that's another thing. Dude, like it is like, I don't know, when you're like 20, 21 years old. You said you were trying to do comedy back then, right?
Yeah, I started at 18. Yeah.
Like for me, like I wasn't really doing anything with my life, and I just needed something that wasn't like working like at a restaurant and living at my parents' house. So it was my way out, supposedly, and then I got discharged and had to live with them again for 6 months. So, but I don't know. Like, would you say that? Do you think that the mob is more honest about who they are than the government is?
Yeah, to a degree, for sure, right? I mean, they do their own shady shit within their own fucking organization. I mean, they killed their own if they so it's not like they're on the up and up. But yeah, I mean, they're not really bothering you. I mean, if you talk to like my grandfather's first generation American, like his parents were off the boat Italian, and he's like, yeah, the mob kind of kept shit in check around the neighborhoods.
You would never know half the shit that's going on around you. Like, I don't know. Like I work kind of more like in the contractor construction industry right now, and been doing this for 15 years or so. And I went to this guy's house, and like he was doing a film about the mob, and he got to interview some of like the biggest mob bosses out of Connecticut and Rhode Island, because there's so many rings down there. It's crazy, dude.
Apparently Rhode Island still has like a heavy mob presence, apparently.
Yeah,
which is
he's like, I'm going down there to interview someone next week, and I was like, I didn't know this was still like a thing. But it's really interesting because I feel like obviously the mob, they like really respect like hierarchy and stuff inside of themselves, but a lot of it's family blood driven, a lot of it. And I've got my wife is Italian. I think she's probably got a little bit of that in her, but it's hard to kind of like gauge how much of this shit's actually going on, because like I feel like their crimes in comparison to what the mob, aka the government, does every day are so minimal. And I don't know. I do you feel like when it comes to like being a retired cop, do you feel because you're a cop that you get treated differently now by people like more in our sphere that distrust the government? Have you ever gotten shit on for that?
If you know me, and I'm not like that. If you just hear like, oh, that guy used to be a cop, maybe, but like if you know me, like no one ever really gave me shit for it. Like it is what it is. I mean, again, like, you were in the army. That's all. That's the biggest government organization of violence. It's like it is like we're all young and dumb at one point. Like you don't get it when you're 21. you're retarded at 21. Like, you don't know shit. You don't realize what you're getting into. You're like, oh, this is a good job, but my family are cops, and you're like, oh, all right, I get what's going on now. But like, you don't know.
Yeah, I think that for me, I don't even really I don't really talk about even being a veteran. I don't even mention it to people barely at all. I think I've spoken and tried to do I've tried to do some talks at Defend the Guard when they're trying to
Yeah,
pass it through the House. I've gone to um to their hearings for that, and I've spoken for that a couple times. And then I've also done, I've done a speech at a rally once or twice, but um truly, most of my friends that I have in real life barely even know. Half of them probably don't even know I was ever in the military.
yeah. I mean, I
That's
don't
what I
really
talk
talk
about.
about it either. I don't really talk about it either because I'm not like. I mean, I'm interested in it still, but I'm not I don't really care either. At the same time, it's one of those things where it's 50-50 for me. Like, if there's an interesting topic, I'll talk about it. But I don't go around being like, "Oh, I used to be a cop." Like, who gives a fuck?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
to
like,
me, I chalk it up to being, young and dumb.
yeah,
Honestly,
yeah.
man,
That's
I was
exactly
such
what
a
I said.
kid. I was literally barely 20 years old when I joined, I was not joining for the correct reasons, and when I was in, dude, I learned a lot about people. There were people that joined the infantry, um, that I don't know what kind of fucked up life they grew up in, but oh my god, dude, they're like, "Yeah, I'm here to just kill people." Literally, they'll just,
Yeah,
be completely open about it, and I'm like, "Bro, you're here now, you don't even have PTSD yet."
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
oh my god.
I mean, you had guys who
Um,
signed up for the PD too. That was like, I just want to be a fucking badass. I'm like, you're not, like, you're not that guy.
I mean, it's the oldest joke in the
Any,
book that a lot of cops were, bullied in high school, now they wanna be the
yeah,
bully, right?
yeah. That's kind of true. Like, we used to work with a guy named Lou, and he was like this fucking tall, and he would run his mouth to like everyone, and we're like, yo, dude, like, you're only doing that because we're behind you. But, you wouldn't have the balls to do this ever,
That's funny.
if you were alone. And one day, we kept telling him, like, "Yo, stop," because we're getting in fights for you because you keep running your fucking mouth. And one day, he was popping his mouth off to some guy much bigger than him, and he just fucking drilled him right in front of us. He turns at us, and we're like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do now? You should probably fight that guy."
Like, "We're not
We're
fighting
not
that one
stepping
for
in.
you. You're good."
Yeah. I'm like, "You're wrong."
Yeah,
And he learned his lesson that day.
yeah, oh my god. Um, so when you retired, what path did you take after that? What did you do to get you to where how'd you get to where you are today?
I just went into comedy full time
Oh,
'cause I
wow,
had
really?
time. I had time. Yeah. I mean,
There's,
when I was a
a
cop, I
lot of
couldn't do it.
comedy clubs, all through the Northeast. So did you
Yeah.
do a lot of touring and stuff like
Oh,
that?
I mean, there was such a gap in between when I started into when I did it again. Like, I was, brand new all over again, starting at, that sucked, but it kinda picked up, and then, yeah, you just fucking find your way like everything else, and you
Yep.
figure it out or you don't.
Right, right.
But it
Well,
was just pretty much that. I was like, "I have all the time in the world now. I might as well just fucking go do this full time."
the good news about being medically retired is you do have a little bit of a check coming in
I have a
to help
tax-free
you through.
pension, brother.
Yeah, right. So, you can kinda just do what the hell you want at that point,
Yeah,
right?
that's pretty much what I was
Um,
doing. So, any money I make now is just, extra fuck around money between me and my wife. She has her job, and then I mean, I have the PT business and stuff like that and comedy, but it all goes to vacations or fucking home remodeling or whatever the fuck we're doing. It's like I
yeah,
don't need it to live.
yeah. And how long ago did you open the gym?
So no, I don't own a gym. We own a PT
Yeah,
company
right, right, right.
that's in a gym. We just LLC'd it this year, so it's
Wow,
brand new. Yeah,
fresh.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's real brand new. I'm wearing the shirt right now.
yeah.
Aries PT.
How did you, get into that side of it?
I'm at the gym all the time anyway, and I was like, well, why not make extra money just doing personal training? And then I met a few other guys who were really cool, and we are all like, we should just start our own thing. Like, why are we working for a shitty company? We could just do our own thing. We know how to do it,
Yeah,
and it kind of came that way. And it's fucking hard for sure, but it's fun. I'm at the gym 8 to 10 hours a day, just working out slash or podcasting because this is where my podcast setup is at the gym. That's where I am
Yeah.
right now.
I mean, that's awesome, man. You just never stop working. You're
Yeah,
practically on the
yeah,
midnight shift now too. But okay, well, here's a little side question. Let's say hypothetically there was this like really liberty constitutional based guy
yeah,
who has never been in law enforcement but was running for his county sheriff position. What kind of advice could you give him? Because I honestly, dude, like um I've done this before. However, this time's completely different because I'm taking it very serious. And uh it's gonna be a very interesting next 6 months of my life, I think.
uh-huh,
Because the main questions I'm getting right now, which as you can probably expect, are well, what's your opinion on ICE and
right,
stuff like that, right? So,
right,
what kind
yeah.
of advice do you have, man?
I mean, I don't think you don't like patrol as a sheriff, right? You're not like answering calls, are you?
You show up at murder scenes, you help, make sure the jail's staffed and the courts are
Right,
staffed or whatever.
but you're not like
So the
regular patrol. Like you're not getting 911 calls.
no, no,
Right.
nothing like that. Now like the people that the officers that work at the sheriff's department do, they do get stuff like that. But for me, as the high sheriff of the or the high high sheriff of the county, basically, you know, my authority, I'm elected by the people, so
Right.
I'm not I, I don't make the laws, I don't write the laws, nothing like that. But my ultimate responsibility is just to uphold the New Hampshire Constitution and the US Constitution. And those
Right.
are like the central basis of it. Unfortunately, like a lot of sheriffs over the last many decades have just given up power over time to the point where a lot of sheriffs today are essentially glorified paper pushers and they
Mm,
just kind of you know write shit and do all that stuff. They still constitutionally have authority that they can exercise that can make the counties better. And what we can talk about ICE and stuff and immigration in a minute, sure. But I guess like it's a completely different world, obviously, than what you were in. But
yeah.
I am curious, like, did you ever have to like interact with the county sheriffs in like the Staten Island, or
No,
did you guys like work together at all?
there is a sheriff's department in New York City, but like the thing with the NYPD is it's the biggest police department in the world, not even the country, right? It's the world. They are very much self-contained, where they don't really want help from anybody. Like they even fight with the feds all the time, where the feds are like, "Oh, we're gonna," they're like, "No, we got it. Like we whatever we need, we have." I mean, they have boats, helicopters, fucking name it, right? They have it. I mean, ESU, K9, like they have all of the shit. So like, we don't need you. We can just handle it. So like, we were always a primary like police department for like everything. So like, give you an example. The Transboro shit, something, a TBTA. I forgot what the other T stands for. Oh my god, my brain. They were always like peace officers, and they never had guns until 9/11, and they kind of gave them guns, because fucking Patriot Act, all that shit, right? But they're retarded. They think they're cops, and they're not really cops. Like technically, they're not. They're peace officers, which is different, right? They're only supposed to like. I think the law is like if you're a peace officer, you're only allowed to like enforce the area you're in, which is like for them the bridges, right? Like they can't go into the streets and be like, I'm a cop. Like they're not. Um, One day they go to pull this guy over on the Verrazano Bridge. It connects Staten Island and Brooklyn, and he doesn't stop for them, and they chase him through the streets of Staten Island like they're fucking Rambo.
Leroy Jenkins over here.
The guy winds up crashing. They shoot into his car, miss all of their shots. They didn't even hit him,
Oh my god, dude.
and you know we're not on the same radio frequency, so they put it over to their
I don't think you're on any of
dispatch.
the same frequencies.
No, no. So they put over to their dispatch, which goes over hours, and they're like, "We have like TBTA calling like a 1013, which is like all calls for help." And we're like, "What? Wait, where are they?" Thinking this on the bridge, and they're like, "No, it's like on the street." I'm like, "Oh, it's like around the block from us." So we show up and they have this guy in cuffs. Like I see the bullet holes in the car. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ. They chased the guy because he threw weed out the window. That was it.
God.
And now we had to do the entire processing of that crime scene. They didn't have to do shit. They just got to go home. And me and my partner spent like 15 hours doing all the work. And we're like, hey, come here. If I ever see you again, I'm gonna fuck you up. Like you're not a cop. You are not me. We are not the same. I don't care that you have a gun. That's bullshit. You shouldn't. All right. But like, so we do all the processing for everything. Like we do it. Like no one else. Even if they caused everything, which they did, we weren't even involved. Right. We have to fucking do it. So the NYPD is very much like that way, where we do everything, and it's very annoying because these other police, law enforcement agencies know that. And they'll just fucking do whatever they want and be like, oh, the NYPD will handle it. And they just get to go home.
Yeah. Well, there's definitely like a plus and a minus to having NYPD being such like a, not wanting outside influence. One side is that like, you have less, I guess, federal interference in some cases there where they're telling them to kick rocks. But then the problem with that is that like you have the police policing themselves a lot, which can cause other issues, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What I like, so here in New Hampshire, essentially, my current, take on the most important issues right now are it's that, everyone's just nonstop asking me like, what's your opinion about ICE? What do you think about ICE? And I'm like, first of all, dude, I live in New Hampshire. It's like 97% white.
Right.
There's
I was gonna say,
like barely any ICE presence here anyways. I did like the stats and figured out what my county deported over the last decade. It's like less than 1,000 total people. So we're talking like less than 100 people a year. And then people also forget ICE is like a less than 20-year-old or barely 20-year-old organization. It was founded in like 2003, and what did people do before that? The sheriff would detain people and kick them out of their county and get them deported. You know what I mean? So if the sheriff was doing its job then here and like arresting like violent criminals and, illegals that were like, furthering the opioid problems here or, like committing violent crime, sure. But like, also, we're from that side of the world where we believe that like taxation is a form of violence. And if you are, if they are extorting the taxpayers by, getting some kind of like public service check or welfare, then they're committing a violent crime under my definition of the law. So guess what? They're getting the fuck out of here.
Right.
Dude.
Also, it's illegal. It's still illegal to be here legally. Like that's still a crime.
There's also
like
that.
It doesn't matter. Like I saw an ICE operation for my rookie year. We did foot patrols in the projects of Staten Island, and it's like 1 o'clock in the morning, midnight maybe, and we're just like four of us standing on a corner, and there's these two Mexican guys standing on the opposite corner of us, and this fucking van pulls up, a bunch of guys that mask get out, and the guy throw them in the van. Look at us like, no, we're cool, we're feds. And they drove away, and we're like, okay, I guess. I don't know.
Oh my God. Wow.
Maybe not. I don't fucking know. But that was crazy.
I mean, that's you can get away with a lot of shit if you do that. Like, it's okay, guys.
I'm like, we're going to verify this information or not.
That's crazy, man. Do you guys have a lot of when you were in New York during that time, have a lot of ICE presence or?
No, because I got out in 2016.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. This is all pre that. We were. Fucking the BLM stuff kind of started when I was like leaving.
Yeah, the microaggressions hasn't quite infected the NYPD at that time yet. They weren't.
Do you remember
having cheap diversity officers?
Oh no, they were there. 100%. That was always a thing. Remember Michael Garner? Remember that story?
Of course, yeah.
That happened in Staten Island.
Really?
That happened that happened in the precinct above me. So I was in the 122. That's the 120. The 120 was a fucking shithole. Right? It's like the worst of the worst. Like that place sucks. That's where I was my rookie year. Then I went to the 122. I knew that kid, Danny. I mean, not like knew him, but like I knew him like a what's up basis. Like I would see him around every now and then. And I was on vacation when that happened. I remember being like, "Fuck, dude, when I get back, this is gonna be a whole thing." And yeah, sure shit, it was.
Yeah, your life was hell.
He
for
lived
probably a
in
while.
our precinct, so like we had like people outside of his house for like a year, just like protecting him. Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare. And also, he's retarded. It's like, you know, if you just knew how to fight, we could have avoided this whole thing. Which is another issue I had with like the NYPD training, because like they don't want you to like ever use your gun or fight anybody, and like that's unrealistic, right? Because it's going to happen. Um, and you know, I have an MMA background, so I knew how to handle myself, but a lot of guys don't. In fact, when I was in the academy, we had a boxing sparring day, and they made me stop sparring because I was fucking people up, and they were like, "You can't go that hard." I go, "What happens if a criminal's fighting them? They just get to be like, you can't go that hard." I was in the academy. They told me not to. It's like, you
That
know,
was
it's
my
like,
favorite part of the army too, man. Like we'd be doing, drills and stuff in the barracks and all that, and we'd just be fighting each other. It's so much fun.
so much fun. And like, and they were like, "Yeah, you can't do that." And I'm like, "Okay, well, that's not a very good training for these guys, is it? Right? Because like criminals don't have rules. They can do whatever they want. They're not following a code of conduct. They're not following a fucking patrol guide. They're not following any of that. So it's like, that's great. So instead of like teaching jujitsu or like proper striking, it's like, it's bullshit. Like it's almost like a ladies self defense class they were teaching. It's like, get back. It's like that type of shit. And you're like, all right, man. So like if he just knew how to fight or do proper takedowns, that whole thing gets avoided.
Yeah, for sure.
Now that guy was a piece of shit. Fuck him, right? Honestly, I don't care. He's dead. He was a garbage human being, because like you should see his rap sheet. It was like domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence. So fuck him, right? But like knowing that, like that shit is gonna come back on you. We're in a liberal city. You're not gonna. This isn't fucking Texas or Florida, dude. We just do what the fuck you want. So it's like I was mad at. We were all mad at him. We were like, "Fuck you, dude!" Like now we're all in this because of you.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. And I mean, um, I don't know. It's like Google police 40%, by the way. Everyone that's watching this should Google police 40%. Adam is not part of this. I have no doubt.
What is that?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That 40% of all cops commit domestic violence against their spouses?
Oh, yeah. No.
Oh, you don't have to Google it anymore, guys. I just gave you the answer. But
not me. No, I'm scared of my wife.
Definitely not you. But so the and I know that your opinion about this is all over the internet, but the Derek Chauvin thing with the neck. I mean, was that like did you have like a similar opinion about that as you did about the Michael Garner thing? Or
no, I think it's completely different, because like A, he was taught to do that. B, he didn't die from that. That's been debunked 1,000 fucking times already. He died of a fentanyl overdose. Also, piece of shit. It's like, I don't care. Like
George Floyd was definitely a piece of shit. I honestly, I don't think I believe any of the medical reports because it was so politicized. So personally, I don't think I can. I don't know.
I mean, like, here's the thing. We've had people who are like, I can't breathe, and like knowing what that might cause, I would always pick someone up and like sit them on their ass and just like, this is a great trick I used to do. Stand on someone's ankles, and then you tell me how much that shit hurts, and they ain't gonna move.
Yeah.
So it's like, but you're also not cutting off their oxygen supply. It's like there's ways around it where, again, to me, it's not worth it. So I'd be like, oh, you need an ambulance? I'm calling you an ambulance. I know you're lying. But like in the less than 1% you're not, and you die, then I'm fucked. So I'd rather just call the ambulance, right? I'll get the ambulance there. We've done that countless fucking times, dude. And like, yeah, it's wasting my time. And we would tell them, like, just so you know, you're still going to jail. You're just delaying it's not like you just go home from the hospital. Like, you go to jail from the hospital.
Right. They're just delaying the inevitable at that point.
Yeah. But like, just because it's not worth it, I would just be like, all right, you can't breathe? Whatever, get up. Now you can breathe. And you still can't breathe? I'll call an ambulance.
With the more recent one, with the dude who was like, I mean, that the dude who was like, videoing the cops, and they ended up shooting him, when he was being wrestled on the ground or whatever, because they said they had a gun. Yeah, like that one was a little crazy for me. I honestly, like that one specifically, I watched that from multiple different angles. I honestly don't think that was a justified shooting. But I also, like, there was like 5 or 6 dudes there beating the fuck out of this guy, and one cop could have saw something from an angle that could have been a cell phone. The guy had a CCW, right? But like, it didn't really seem like that was. I wasn't there. I couldn't see the angle.
Right.
Like, did somebody think he was reaching for a gun? Like, either way, like,
Here's the thing,
it was
dude.
a fucked up situation, dude.
If you show up to a fight with a gun with police, hey man, you know,
you better be
I
better
don't
with
gi-
your gun.
I
than
don't
they
give a
are.
fuck you have a CCW. It's irrelevant. It really is completely irrelevant. Like, you're fighting law enforcement. I don't give a fuck you think you're on a moral high ground. Like, it's not going to go your way ever. Through the feds down to local bumfuck Montana. Like, it's not going to go your way, dude. So, like, yeah, you got wiped. Oh, well.
It's like
Ruby,
it's like Ruby Ridge, man. Like, you got like one dude in a bunker who knows how to shoot a gun, and you got like hundreds of federal agents around you. Like, that's what you're gonna do. You're gonna try to, put your whole family at risk.
Yeah, and that was a fucked
Ruby
up
Ridge is fucked up.
sure.
Man. Like, I'm on the side of the guy who got murdered there,
same.
right? But like, regardless,
but you know what's gonna like it's. Dude, I'm not saying it's right, but you know what's going to happen. So, like,
I mean, Kyle Rittenhouse was right to shoot those people, and 100%. He put himself in a really retarded situation. Should have never been there,
right? I mean, he killed a pedophile, but like, it's like, but it's like, like if I'm wrestling a guy on the street and I see a gun, well, what the fuck do you think I'm going to do? I'm like, oh no, I'll let you shoot me and die. Like, no, dude. Like, I'm going to curb stomp the fuck out of you and try to knock you out, if anything. But if I can't, you're getting holes in your chest. Like, sorry, that's how it's gonna happen. I'm going home.
Dude, I am all for exercising your Second Amendment right, but for the love of God, can some of these neckbeards even learn how to hold the rifle before they stand out on the block?
It's like that fat retard who's like, I'm just protecting my neighbor. He had like a fucking pistol grip. It's like, dude, you're LARPing. You're not about that life. Like, me and my friend would wipe the floor with you if it ever came down to it. Like, I'm pretty well trained. Like, in the NYPD, like, I took a lot of overtime that was offered to us, so I'm making money on like specialized like gun training and all this shit. And a lot of guys didn't take it. He's like, oh, who gives a fuck? I'm like, well, I could use this in my real life. I could take this with me forever. Like, I'm not, So I took active shooter training, rifle training. I took all that shit. I was like, why
anytime
the fuck
I could have been at the range
this?
back when I was in the Army, that's where I was, dude. Like, I wanted to be the absolute best marksman there. And like, I feel like the more tools that you can equip yourself for this type of stuff, it doesn't matter if you're not going to use it with your job in the police, or as NYPD officer, or if you're in the infantry or whatever, you're going to take that with you outside of there too. And
100%.
I would, I don't know. I think it'd be, I could probably go up against anyone out there right now, but at the same time, I'm not going out. Like, there's supposed to be a couple protests this next week here in New Hampshire because they were trying to put a new ICE facility in the neighboring county. So obviously, naturally, the leftists are losing their mind.
Right.
I'm not going to go out there. I always carry, but I'm not going to be out there with my AR-15 on the city streets. No. Like, hey, what's up, guys?
Because you're inviting that. Like, again, I don't care if it's right or wrong. That's just the reality of the situation. If you can't understand that, maybe you shouldn't own a gun. It's that simple. I'm sorry, but that was retarded. Like, when that guy got killed, I was like, yeah, man, that's what happens. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
It's really crazy, man. We're in like a really weird spot right now because, my whole life, I've been an anarchist since I was 16, but I've never not been an anarchist. But it's like, I live in the real world. I'm not some kind of like utopian, right? And like a lot of people, they get into this like, if there was such thing as a perfect world in my world, like there would be plenty of hierarchies. There'd be still this governance. There'd still be policing because it'd be like more privatized or whatever. Like we want to talk about in our theory fag land. But, at the end of the day, I feel like, it's really hard to have these conversations with libertarians because they are so detached from reality.
They like Pete Canona says, right? You live in a capstan in your head. It's like, that's exactly what you're doing. It's like, it's not, sorry, man, it's not realistic. It's just not. You know, and it's like if you keep living that life and you keep thinking that, cool, man, but you're wrong. It's just you're not going to change it because you think that way.
I had this
Like,
argument with a guy earlier today. He's like, if you want to get rid of the cartels, you just got to legalize all drugs.
right?
And I'm like, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Can you
Yeah, yeah,
try
yeah.
to be a little like, can you bring a real solution to the table, please? Because, they're still going to get money from somewhere. They still got these money funnels, right? There's still going to be fentanyl production. Maybe you can, use force to cut off some of the precursor chemicals for fentanyl production, shit like that. It is not just about legalizing drugs or decriminalizing drugs.
Right,
That does not solve the problem of cartels. That is the most boneheaded
right,
shit I've ever heard. um if people want to, like, smoke weed or do whatever the fuck they want to do, I'm not against that at all. I just feel like, uh, at the end of the day, we have to, like, have some fucking common sense, man. Like,
yeah.
this is
It's
not we
impossible.
do not live eating we have the biggest government in the entire history of the US, right? So it's
Yeah,
like it never has gotten smaller, no matter what Doge tells you. And the surveillance state is growing and growing and growing. But we are never gonna live in a world where the cartels don't exist somewhere. And even if they did get their perfect incapacitant in their head, um, incapacitant in your head would probably it would be highly probable that a warlord or a cartel would take your shit over real quick.
100%. Yeah, of course. Like even the retards, like we don't need the police. It's like okay, maybe me and you don't, right? Because we know how to handle ourselves. But like, there's a lot of vulnerable people out there who can't, and someone has to protect them. Like so who's it going to be? You? No. So shut the fuck up. Like you do need it. The cops are a thing you need. Sorry, like it is what it is. Like how many elderly are out there? How many people who are handicapped are out there that can't fight off a fucking home invasion?
Yeah.
But who can? Well, the police. So
They
it's
can't even
like
shovel their driveways right
that's what
now,
I'm
dude.
saying.
Like,
So it's like no, it's a needed function of society. It just is. Now we could argue about how they're used, sure, but they're needed. That's a retarded take too.
yeah. Now there is like I can't remember if it was like Wisconsin or something. There was like one or two precincts that were fully privatized, which is like pretty cool. We're not anywhere close to that, and I don't think New York could do something like that on a
Well,
massive
the
scale.
MTA police are privatized in New York.
What was that?
The MTA police are privatized in New York.
Oh, okay.
So the MTA police they go through the same academy we do, but they're completely private.
Didn't even
So
know
they're
that.
hired by the city to just like watch this. I mean, there's NYPD in the subways too, but like that's pretty much where they're at, like the subways and shit. And they are straight up told, like, don't write a fucking ticket. Only arrest somebody if you absolutely have to. Like, they are told to like just do nothing, and they make way more money than we do. So it's a fucking great gig.
Nice.
But they're private. They're completely privatized. Like, they're not like a city organization. They're just hired. They're contracted through the city.
Nice. Wow. Well, hopefully we can. I don't know. I'm going to get a lot of shit for this conversation, because I always do anytime I talk about policing. People just aren't nuanced about it at all. But I don't know. Like, you've been there, done that. I appreciate you, man. And if you could, I know you got a hard cut here coming up, so if you could just tell everyone where they could find all your stuff, where they could find. Do you have any comedy online they could find? I'm
Yeah,
sure.
from my social media for sure.
Yeah.
I'm suspended until Sunday on Twitter, but follow me at Adam Nutter on all the stuff, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, that shit. And most importantly, check out my podcast I do with four other guys: Kyle Matovic, Sam Urban, Typo, and Luke. We go live every Monday night at 8, Rumble on YouTube, 5 till midnight. It's super fun. We have a lot of fun guests. We just talk the shit, comedic, political bullshit, and everything else in between too. It's just a fun time. So go check that out if you guys want, and leave us a subscribe. That'd be great.
Shout out to Kyle Matovic, because that guy's fucking badass.
I love Kyle
that
to
guy.
death. Yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Thanks so much for coming on. I'll put you backstage and wrap the show up. We'll talk in a sec.
Yes, sir.
Thank you guys for watching tonight. Really appreciate it. Coming up next week, I have, oh my God, I don't even remember. But I hope you guys have a good one, and we will catch up in like 7 days. Peace.
Coming for the